All right, look, so your offer just got accepted and the contract only gives you a few weeks to close. Your earnest money is non-refundable and you don't have the cash to close by yourself. Here's exactly what you do starting today. In this video, we're going to give you 6 specific things that determine how fast your loan gets funded. We'll show you what stalls a file on the lender side of the desk and what the borrowers who close fast do differently. Do these 6 things and you'll be the file that moves to the top of the pile. So, number 1 is telling your lender your deadline on that first call. This one sounds fairly obvious, but you'd be surprised how many borrowers never actually do it. If a lender thinks they have 30 days to work with, they're going to pace the file as if they have a full month to close. And by the time anyone realizes the contract closes next Friday, you've burned through the time you needed. But when you know exactly when your contract closes, we can build the entire file backwards from that date and make sure every piece lands where it needs to. So lead with your deadline in the very first conversation before you talk about anything else. Number 2, submitting a complete file the very first time. The single biggest difference between a fast closing and a slow one is what it looks like from the first submission. If you send over the purchase contract, a real scope of work with your rehab budget, your comps and your ARV, your entity docs, your ID, 2 months of bank statements, and a simple list of deals you've done with your name on title, all in one clean package, you've just done in an hour what takes most borrowers a week of back and forth emails. Every lender on earth is going to ask for the same things: the purchase price, your rehab budget, and your ARV. So don't make them wait around while you figure all of that out. The easiest way to do this is to run your deal through a free calculator at calculator.rcprivatelending.com before you even have to pick up the phone. It'll show you the leverage we could give you, what your cash to close looks like, and where the deal sits against the ARV. So when you do call a lender or us, you've already seen the math and you can have a real conversation. So number 3, have your entity ready before you have a deal. If you're buying in an LLC, that LLC needs to exist before the deal does. It should be formed in good standing with your state, with an EIN and an operating agreement ready to send. This is one of the most common silent delays we see because nobody thinks about the entity until the lender asks for the documents, and then you find out the LLC was never finished or fell out of good standing 2 years ago. Now you're fixing paperwork with the state in the middle of escrow, and that's a delay that happens entirely on your side of the table. So it's best to get it handled now when there's no clock running. All right, so number 4, answering fast. Here's one almost nobody talks about. Your response time directly correlates to the speed of your lender's ability to close. A lender can only move as fast as you reply to them. And if you take 2 days to get back to them on something, you didn't just answer late, you added 2 full days to your closing. So during your closing timelines, treat every message from your lender and your response like it's holding up your deal, because it very probably is. So number 5, liquid means liquid. When we say cash to close, or if we say we need to see liquid reserves, we mean actual cash or cash equivalents sitting in an actual bank account. Money that's sitting in stocks or retirement accounts needs days to sell or settle before you can touch it, if that's what you're using for your cash to close. And money bouncing between accounts during the week of closing might raise questions and add time to reviews. So get your cash to close money positioned where it needs to be before closing week starts, not during it, when every one of those days is coming straight out of your timeline. And last but not least, number 6, pick a lender with multiple capital sources. The last one is about the lender, not you. And it might be the most important question you ask. Most lenders fund off a single balance sheet or sell to a single investor, which means if their one capital partner looks at the deal and says no, your deal is dead and your clock restarts at 0. We fund deals through multiple institutional means, so if program A doesn't fit your deal, we move over to program B without needing to restart the whole process over again. So ask any lender you're considering one simple question: what happens to my timeline if your first option says no? The answer will tell you everything you need to know. Here's the thing to take with you, even if you never face a closing deadline that's tight. Everything on this list is free. It doesn't take any more money or more experience to be a fast borrower. It takes being ready before the deal shows up. The investors who get funded fast aren't luckier than you. They were just more prepared or organized before the deal even showed up. If you've got a deal under contract right now and you need to know if your numbers work, run them through a free calculator at calculator.rscprivatelending.com or click the link below and talk to our team. We'll tell you straight up what you'd qualify for and how fast we can move. And if you want to keep learning, watch the video on the screen next. We'll see you in the next one.